It's Jojo and welcome back to the channel. So we've got another skin video today, guys. We've got a blue infantry, so the long awaited blue infantry. I said I'd do it. So yeah, sorry that I haven't uploaded a full-length video in a while. You might have seen I've uploaded a lot of shorts recently. I managed to get quite a lot out last week, but basically I was on holiday. So I mean I didn't really have to upload anything, but I chose to anyway. But we're getting back into normal videos now, so let's get straight into this blue loadout, shall we? So starting off with the gloves, we have the specialist gloves mogul. Now you can grab these in field tested for around $175, and they're very blue. The inside part of the glove is blue, along with the sort of outer. We've got this blue camo pattern, and I really like the yellow text and yellow accents that you get on it. I just think it goes really well. There's lots of blue on it, and I think it's a super sleek blue glove. Let's get straight into the next glove, which are going to be the sports gloves amphibious. Now these are the more expensive options, so you know these aren't going to be for everyone, but they are extremely blue. Effectively the entire glove is blue, and I really like these. I know a lot of people don't like them because they feel like the pattern's a bit weird, but I personally really like these. These are one of my favorite sports gloves in the game. Your other option would be the superconductors, but they I think are way too expensive for what you get, and I think these look way better. And in field tested, these are going to cost you around $750, so they're certainly not cheap. You could obviously go for a battle scarred pair with a good float as well, but I think field tested is sort of the sweet spot on these, especially as the wear does really come through on the knuckles. For the knife pairing, we're going with pretty much any bright water. For the purpose of this video, I'm going with a Karambit bright water, mainly because my friend owns one of these, and I do think it looks quite nice. Obviously, the wear is important. Sorry about that, my hard drive just disconned. But yeah, obviously the wear is important, so you know, if you don't like a knife that's got a lot of scratches on, then make sure you grab it in a better condition, maybe even get factory new. But bright waters, depending on the knife, are going to cost you anywhere from 90 to 1.2k. We've also got any Sapphire, Phase 3 or Phase 4 Doppler, and for the purpose of this demonstration I'm just going to show you guys a flip knife Sapphire, purely because Sapphire is the creme de la creme when it comes to Dopplers, in my opinion, blue Dopplers specifically. Now I know there's a big debate on whether Sapphires are nicer than Phase 4s or Phase 4s are nicer than Sapphires. I know a lot of people really like the little black swells you get in Phase 4. I personally prefer Sapphires, but I definitely see the appeal of both. Or if you're someone in the middle who likes Phase 3, I mean, to be fair, this actually kind of looks a little bit like a Phase 3. We've got a little bit of green in the top of the tip, which is quite interesting. But anyway, these are going to set you back anywhere from $200 to $10,000, depending on the knife and phase. So be aware that you're not going to be able to get exactly what you want at like a reasonable price. You know that they are expensive for a reason. But yeah, they're the second option. For our agents, we're going with Ava, Special Agent Ava, for CT side. She's going to cost around $16. I'll put a picture up on the screen now. And for T side, we're going with Little Kev. He's going to be around $21. There aren't a lot of options for T side because there isn't a lot of blue agents. But I saw that he's got like a blue, sort of like slightly blue shirt. He's got a blue tie, so I thought he worked pretty well. And Special Agent Ava is pretty blue for obvious reasons. She's got blue sleeves and she's got a blue outfit on. So yeah, those are our agents. Getting on to the Glock, I'm going to go with the Ocean Topo. So this is a new Glock from the Ascent collection, and I think it looks pretty damn clean, especially if you get it in a good condition. Now, if I walk about a little bit, you can see that this is actually shiny, which is really nice. I did initially think that this was a matte finish, but then when I sort of looked into the light, I saw that it was a really shiny and vibrant skin, so extremely underrated for a new skin. You can grab this in factory new for only $1.53. For the USP, we're going with a classic fan favourite, the Black Lotus. Now, I'm going to go with this in field tested because personally I don't really see a massive difference between field tested and factory new. Factory new does look a bit cleaner, but I mean the price difference isn't quite worth it in my opinion. So in field tested, you can grab this up for only $1.20, which is an absolute steal. I mean, look at this thing. It looks absolutely stunning. For a matte finish skin, it is super nice. And for a blue quality skin as well, wow. So we've got the P250 Valence next, and I'm going to go with this in field tested, I believe. No, I think this is actually minimal wear. Correct me if I'm wrong, I actually did forget to put that in my notes, do apologise. But you can grab this for around 26 cents, which is really good going, and it does look super clean. Again, this is another shiny one, so it definitely got a massive glow up in CS2, but there's plenty of blue on it, and it's got this nice steel finish as well, with blue accents, so a very nice P250 skin. And for the 5.7, we've got another new skin. We've got, once again, another super shiny skin. We have the 5.7 Sky Blue. Now, wow, this looks gorgeous. I don't know what about it really sells it for me. I think it must be the shade of blue. I don't know why. I just think we don't have a lot of Sky Blue skins, and oh my god, this looks so good with these gloves. What the hell? Like, what an absolutely stunning combo. That is really nice. It's just, I've only just seen these two paired together now, and oh my god, that looks insane. But you can grab this bad boy in factory new, right? Get this for $1. Only $1 for this in factory new. This has got to be one of the best industrial grades in the entire game. It looks superb. And next we have the Tech 9, and we're going with an old classic, the Ice Cap. We've got a lot of new skins and a lot of old skins, so I've done a big blend of both in this video. So yeah, and in factory new, you can get this thing for only 65 cents. It is super cheap, and it's just extremely blue, nice and shiny. Get it in factory new because the wear does show in higher conditions, so be wary of that, but I just think it's really nice. We're actually going to have two choices for the jewelries. We've got the Cobalt Quartz in factory new condition, which are super nice, super shiny. Again, I do like my shiny skins, but don't worry, there are plenty of matte skins out there for you guys too. Now, these in factory new are only going to cost you 22 cents, which is an absolute steal if you ask me. Super cool collection skin here. And we've got a real OG here. We have the Moon in Libra. Now, unfortunately, these really do suffer with condition. You know, these really start to scratch up in even minimal wear. So I am going to go for these in factory new. So it is going to cost you a little bit more if you wanted to get these. Now, of course, you can settle for for higher floats if you want. But I just personally think it's worth grabbing the lower float cleaner factory news. Now, these are pattern based as well, so get a pattern that you like, and these are going to cost you around about $5 in factory new, but you might be able to get them a little bit cheaper. Now, getting on to the Deagle, we have the Starcade in field tested. Now, there aren't actually a great deal of blue options for the Deagle. There are a few, but I think this one's definitely like the best value for money. It looks absolutely stunning. It is extremely blue. It's, you know, got a really deep dark blue and a lighter blue handle as well, and it is glittery, so a very unique skin. So it's not quite shiny or matte. It's got this glitter finish to it, which I really do think makes this skin come alive. And again, in field tested, this is going to cost you somewhere in the region of $26, maybe 28. It might even break 30, but you know, I would certainly suggest treating yourself and getting a low float one if you can. It does look very nice, but there is another option for you guys, of course. And that's going to be the Ever Faithful Blue Ply. Now, you can't really go wrong with this skin. It's extremely cheap and very unique as well. It completely transforms the Deagle entirely, and it is a nice, just clean blue skin. In minimal wear, this is only going to cost you around 33 cents. So it's certainly under that $1 mark, which I think really does give this skin a little bit more run for its money. So yeah, not too bad at all. Getting on to the Mac 10, we are going with the Oceanic. Now, I personally just think straight up this is the best blue Mac 10 in the game. I know there are some other options and some more expensive options as well, but I certainly think this one's the nicest. It's very clean, it's very shiny, and it also it's like a merge of like a matte finish and a shiny finish, which is quite unique. And in factory new, you can grab this bad boy for only 24 cents. Not too bad at all. We've actually got two options for the MP7. Sorry, not MP7. What am I about? The MP9. We have the Cobalt Paisley. Now, correct me if I've mispronounced that. I do apologise. But I'm going to go with this in factory new, and the reason why is because I just think it looks so clean in factory new. Again, it's another one of these hybrid skins where it's a matte finish with shiny accents put onto it, which I just think looks so good. Valve really has knocked it out of the park with these new collections, and in factory new, you can grab this for around $5. Bear in mind, this is still a very new skin, so I would wait a little bit for the prices to go down, but if you want it right now, that's what it's going to cost. Alternatively, we have the Buff Blue, which is more of a matte finish, and I don't think it looks as nice, but it's still pretty good. And it is cheaper. So the Buff Blue in Factory New is only going to cost you 53 cents. It's about 10 times cheaper. So bear that in mind when comparing and getting skins. This is the cheaper option, and I do still think it looks very nice, and it's still very, very blue and fits the theme really well. Up next is the UMP, and there's only really one choice for me, and that is the Exposure. It's been a classic blue go-to for many years now, and it still remains a really good option. You can grab this in minimal wear for 62 cents, and there's quite a big price gap between minimal wear and Factory New, and I'll be honest, I can't really see a big difference. So definitely grab this in minimal wear. Factory New is not really worth it. It's used for trade up fodder. But yeah, pretty nice, pretty nice. Up next is the MP7, and we're going with the Cirrus or Cheerus. Again, I've never known how to properly pronounce that, but wow, this skin is so shiny it might blind you. Now, I really do like my shiny skins, but even this, I've got to admit, might actually be a little bit too much. It is so shiny, but it's very blue, and I really like the steel parts of it. I mean, this skin I've always thought is extremely underrated, and we've got this little skull on it as well. Kind of looks a little bit like the Gears of War logo, I can't lie. One of my friends mentioned that the other day, and I was like, actually, I never saw that. That is true. But yeah, in minimal wear, it's only going to cost you 19 cents. Now, I think this is one of these skins where it gets darker as the condition goes on, so you don't even really have to pick it up in minimal wear if you don't want to. I just think it looks nicest in minimal wear, so there we go. Up next is the Negev Man-O-War. Now, unfortunately, this skin really does suffer from condition, so you're going to have to get it in as low float as humanly possible. This one is minimal wear, and minimal wear is the best condition you can grab it in. It is only going to cost you 13 cents, but you might actually have to overpay a little bit to get a clean float. Try and get one as close to the float cap as humanly possible. That way, this sort of scratching that you see going on in the back sort of gets sorted out. But yeah, I certainly would not recommend getting this in field tested. It is not worth it. But yeah. Up next is, once again, another new skin. We've got the Gunwall camo. Now, again, I haven't done a great deal of matte finish skins on this list, so I thought I'd change it up a little bit and go with this new XM skin, and I think it looks really cool. I like the pink and the blue merged together. I think it goes really well, and it doesn't look too bad at all. It's super clean matte finish, but you are really definitely going to want this in, you know, like a good condition. I would probably even recommend Factory New, and that's going to set you back around 55 cents. This one's in Factory New as well, so yeah, get it in Factory New. Up next is the FAMAS, and wow, we are going with an absolute belter for this entry. We have the Waters of Nephthys, and just, I mean, look at this thing. It looks like it's alive. It's so unique. It's like, I think it's got like a holographic effect to it. I mean, it just looks absolutely wowzer. I really like this. It even has the effect on the metal parts of the skin where, you know, where you usually don't get any color. So yeah, just absolutely insane. And in field tested, this is going to cost you around $27, so it's certainly not cheap, but I had to add it on the list because it is so nice. I'd even recommend getting minimal wear or even Factory New if you can afford it, because this skin just gets better and better the lower the float. But for those of you on a little bit more of a strict budget, we have got the Cyano Spatter. It's a pretty classic drop skin, you know, an OG skin. And this is, believe it or not, this is Factory New, and it still looks really scratched up. So you're going to want a very low float in order for this skin to actually look kind of decent. But, you know, in Factory New condition, it's only going to cost you 69 cents. And if you do want to overpay a little bit for a better float, be my guest. But yeah, no, it's pretty blue. It fits the theme really well. Up next is the Galil. We've got the Stone Cold. This, I think, has the same sort of energy as the Cirrus or Cheerus or whatever. You know, it's very shiny. It might even be just a little bit too shiny for my liking, if I'm being completely honest. But it still looks extremely nice. It's very blue, very deep, dark blue. It goes so well with the theme. And in field tested, this is only going to cost you about $1.50. Again, I think the lower the float you get, the brighter the skin gets. So if you prefer a brighter color, maybe go for Factory New. Up next, we've got the M31S. Now, there are two options. This is the cheaper option, and it is the Decimator, and I don't really think this one needs an introduction. I mean, look how amazing this looks. It is absolutely wowzer. I really, really like the Decimator. Now, I was going to put the, and I'll put a picture on the screen here, I was going to put the Black Lotus on here, but I don't really consider it a true blue skin. I know that this one has like purple and bits on, but the Black Lotus sort of seems a bit too purple for my liking. So you can get it if you want, or Wild Lotus, whatever it is, sorry. You can get it if you want, but I personally would just stick to the Decimator as it's more of a true blue skin. Anyway, waffled a little bit there. This is going to cost you around 12 bucks in field tested, so a steal if you ask me, because this just looks so nice. But for my friends with a bit more of a disposable income, be my guest and grab the blue Phosphor. And now this is just the best blue M4 skin in the game. I don't care what anyone says, it just is. And anyone who disagrees, I think, must not be a true fan of the colour blue. Because this just entails blue and captures it perfectly. I mean, I believe the way Valve made this is they used the Sapphire pattern, so this is pretty much a Sapphire M4, and just look at it, it is absolutely stunning. And in factory new, this is going to cost you somewhere in the region of $620, so it's very expensive, but I mean, it is super nice, and it is one of those old collection skins which will only go up in price over time. So for those of you with a bit more of disposable income, I would certainly recommend picking this one up. Moving over to the M4A4, and we have the Spider Lily. I think this looks absolutely fantastic. This is actually one of my favourite skins in the entire game. I don't know why, it just looks amazing. So there are other options, but I would just straight up just pick this over anything else. I mean, obviously you've got maybe you could go with maybe you could go with Desolate Space. I lost my train of thought, so I had to double check the name of that real quick. Sorry. Or the Emperor even. Both are still super good. I've owned both of them. I like both of them. But, I mean, something about this skin just speaks levels to me. So, yeah. In field tested, this is only going to cost around $8. So, they're definitely worth it. It's such a pretty skin. AK is up next, and there actually isn't a lot of blue options, to be completely honest. There are AKs with blue on them, but we don't really have a true blue AK. The closest we got was the Midnight Laminate, was it? But that was more like purple. Obviously, you've got the blue laminate as well, but I prefer this, which is why I'm picking it over it. I know there's a lot of red on it, but yeah, I personally do think the point disarray is nicer, and it's cheaper as well, because in field tested, this is only going to cost you 10 bucks. I don't know why this skin has got so cheap over time. I remember when this thing, like, back in the day was really expensive. But yeah, no, super clean skin and very underrated. Yeah, the Vulcan is the more expensive option I would go for. In field tested, it's going to cost you around $240, so it's nowhere near as expensive as the M4 Blue Phosphor, but it is still a fair chunk of change. And if you want this thing in StatTrak as well, it's going to get extremely expensive. But look at it, it is so clean. I do think the Vulcan is a little bit overrated. Now, don't kill me in the comments for saying that, that's just my opinion. But I can't deny it's still a very nice skin, and it does fit the blue theme really well. It's got those blue stripes on it, super nice. We'll go with one more, the Frontside Misty. I mean, it's pretty much the bluest AK in the game, and it's really similar to the Vulcan. I think it actually looks, and this is going to be crazy, I think it actually looks better than the Vulcan. I mean, I personally went with the point disarray purely because I really like it, but I'll be honest, I'm sort of now leaning towards the Frontside Misty. So you've got three options there. I would personally go with this. Anyone who I've recommended it to hasn't bought it because they have already had it in the past. But I mean, this is the true blue AK. You're not going to get much bluer than this. In field tested, this is going to cost you around 14 bucks as well. Got the AWP up next, and we're going with the Sun and Leo in factory new. Now, again, this one really suffers from conditions, so you're going to want it in factory new, I'll be honest. I mean, this is a clean factory new, and it's still got some scratches on the back. So yeah, again, another pattern-based skin. So get a pattern that you like. I sort of like the ones that have the sun in the middle, actually kind of similar to the one we've got in my hands right now. And in factory new, this is going to cost you around 24 bucks, so not too bad. And for the more expensive option, we have the AWP Medusa. Now, again, as I said with the Spider Lily, this is one of my favourite skins in the entire game, and that's why I've included it. I would actually probably say this is my favourite skin in the game. I don't know why. I've always loved the Medusa. Back in the day, if you were a CS OG, we had the AWP War, which was the Dragon Lore versus the Medusa. I was always Team Medusa. I do love the Dragon Lore, don't get me wrong, and I also would like to give an honourable mention to the Gungnir, although I do personally, and I know this is going to be a mental hot take, because loads of people say the Gungnir is just the best skin in the game. I think the Medusa's better. I just do. I've always loved the Medusa. So yeah, in Factory New, this is going to cost you somewhere in the region of $5 grand. So it's certainly not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. Even in Battle Scarred, this thing is really expensive. But you want to get this, if you're doing the blue loadout, you want to get this in as low float as possible, because the higher the float goes, it goes like green. Which I actually prefer. I like a Battle Scarred Medusa. I'm more of a Battle Scarred fan. But yeah, in Factory New, this is where it's going to be most blue. And just look at this thing. It's so nice. Next is the Krieg, because I forgot about it. And we're going to go with the Anodized Navy. It's pretty much the only option. You know, the other blue skins for this aren't as good. Obviously, you could go with the Intergale, which is actually my own personal skin. But the Anodized Navy is going to be cheaper. It's only going to cost you $1.22. The Intergale is going to cost you around $8 to $10. And for the Scout, we've got the Abyss in Factory New. Again, similar to the Medusa, the higher the float, the greener this gets. So definitely get it in Factory New if you can. And yeah, this is a nice one. It's a little bit, I think it's a matte finish, but it's like a shiny matte finish. So again, pretty unique. And in Factory New, it's only going to cost you around $3. So that's going to be everything. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you found some skins that are useful and go into your loadout. Any suggestions, just like I have said in previous loadout videos, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. You know, if there's a blue skin that you like that I missed, leave it in the comment section so that people can see it, because you never know, that might help someone build their inventory. Once again, thanks everyone for watching, and as I've said before, I do have a gameplay video in the works. I've got plenty of clips now, so it's just a case of editing it and getting it made for you. It's sort of like a funny video, and I'm going to start incorporating a bit more gameplay funny videos to the channel as well, just because I really like making them. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I appreciate the support. If there's anything I could ask from you guys, it's to give this video a like and subscribe. It you know, helps out the channel growth and keeps me making these videos. So yeah, cheers guys, and take care.